Is that good? It's always good, isn't it?
Yeah, it all depends what you want out of an event. If you want to network with some people or catch up with people that you can't quite convince yourself that it's time to spend the time to go and see them, meeting them at a conference or an exhibition or whatever is an efficient way to cycle through a lot of people and just catch up with them over a cup of coffee or at their stand or whatever. If you want to spend time having meaningful conversations with people, then maybe you should go and visit them. And I think, if you think you're going to go to some of these conferences and exhibitions and come back with, an armful of new contracts and happy customers, then your expectations might be a little unrealistic. But I do like a bit of networking.
Yeah, quite right. You get very few opportunities to be in front of people, so to actually do a day where you are with them.
Yeah. Some people don't like it because they really want to see a result. I'm coming to the show. I want to pick up a new client. It's like, well,
not about. And that's the one thing I found with the Superyacht industry. It's not about It's not about getting around and trying to prove that going here got you that contract.
Oh, for some people it is, and they're very focused in that way, and they want to know because.
That's wrong.
Well, I tend to share your view. I think if you're in the right place where the right people are, and right people is a broad definition, I always think you need to do a stakeholder analysis. You need to look at who all the influencers are and the other interested parties that affect your business. And if you know who all they are, sometimes spending time with influencers rather than people who are going to be a customer or going to find you a customer, it is time well spent. But other people are a little bit more focused. They say, well, I'm flying people here, it's costing me money, I want to know that I'm going to get a return. And I think sometimes you need to be a little bit more speculative.
I'll give a good example why it's so hard. Frank Newbert.
Mm-hmm.
I met him back in 97, I think, 97, 98. I never really got any business from him until 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that, he didn't have the work, and I'm sure I could have got a project with him quicker. But it was the build. You see him at events, you see him at the shipyard, you see him, and it's a trust thing. And I always feel like, especially like I was trying to illustrate my point back there about companies that have been in the industry for 20, 30, 40 years, they've earned their right to be there.
Yes.
By the simple fact that they are being used by the industry. A lot of these new people come in, trying to.
Well, they sometimes they need to make progress quickly. If you're a services company and you've taken on board a team of people to provide those services because you need a variety of skills, you then have a monthly wages bill which is quite big, and so you need to win clients rapidly in order to to cover that cost. You need critical mass in terms of skills, but then you need critical mass in terms of clients.
And this is where understanding the industry is important, because you'll never, as a new company, you'll never get the likes of Fetcher Pearson to jump.
No.
But you will get the likes of the Turkish and the Americans to jump quicker.
Yes.
So knowing where to hit your market.
You see, there's always a trade-off between reputation and cost. In as much as if you have a good reputation, why would you sell your services for a low cost? You wouldn't, because you know that people value what you have, and your reputation is worth something, and so therefore you're going to be 100, and somebody else who doesn't have the reputation can't charge the same as you. They can't charge 100, they've got to charge 80 or 70 in order to win business. And so there are people, the client side of the B2B relationship, for whom they themselves haven't got a massive reputation. They're struggling to live within a budget and produce results, because certain things like steel, it doesn't have a reputation. It just costs whatever it costs. And so therefore the things you look for areas where you can make savings. And so you assess somebody's service based on their timeliness or their technical capability, but not on terms of their reputation. And so you buy them at 70 or 80 instead of 100. And so new entrants can come in, which is great. Barrier to entry is not massively high in this industry, but if you're absolutely brand new, you're probably going to have to wait 2 years before you can win any business, because that's how long people want to see you around for, to know that you're serious about being part of this industry. And so my advice to lots of people who are coming in new, totally new, is, well, if you can hold your breath for 2 years, then you will succeed if you have a good product. If you don't have a good product, then you won't succeed for long anyway. But even if you have a good product, you got to be there. You got to be there. You got to go to events. You got to be the face of the company, because it is about people, for about 2 years, and then you'll start getting inquiries. And even then, though, because you're new, you still can't command the same price as the more established brands. But that's perfectly normal. That's free market economy. That's how it should be.